It's safe to say that NASCAR's inaugural race of 2023 was one for the record books. And I know you're wondering, but how? Kyle Busch's original plan didn't work out, and the events surrounding Larson have suddenly infuriated the fans. Want to hear what our two favorite drivers have to say about the wrecks they've been in? Then, just keep an eye out on the NASCAR Zone. But before we dive into that, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. As the Daytona 500 came to a close, many accidents sidelined the race's front runners. Due to a spin by Daniel Suarez and a subsequent big pileup that eliminated half of the surviving cars, the opening race of the NASCAR season went into overtime, where the race is extended by 2 laps. Seven-time champion Jimmie Johnson, who was making the first of a few starts for the season upon his return to NASCAR from a brief stay in IndyCar, and fan favorite William Byron were both eliminated from contention as a result of this accident. The race was finally over when another big crash happened on the last lap of the second attempt at overtime. Kyle Larson lost control in turn 1 on the last lap, which caused another big crash, and the winner was determined to be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. First, let's talk about what Kyle Busch has to say about the lost opportunity to win that he just experienced.
I was hoping to have a teammate restart where I could get down on the bottom, and then when I got down on the bottom, we could get locked up, and the 24 and the 8 and the 3 would all work together and push and go, and looked like it was kind of working, but we got too much separation off of 2, and I tried to back up to get to them, and when they hit me, it got me really squirrely, and then Austin checked up, and then the accordion happens, and everybody gets running over everybody. I think this is the first time I led lap 200, so I wish it was 1998 rules. But no, it's just part of the course, just used to it, and come down here every year to just find out when and where I'm going to crash and what lap I come out of the care center.
Even though he has changed teams, Kyle Busch still has the ability to get himself into the news during the NASCAR Cup Series. Although his split from Joe Gibbs Racing was being finalized, he spent the majority of the previous season away from the racetrack. Apart from the recent gun accusation he faced in Mexico, it seems as though Busch will have a successful year on the track in 2023. For Busch, the Daytona 500 was, as it often has been, a bitterly disappointing experience. In spite of how it played out, it was by no means a major disaster. It's possible that Kyle Busch's move to Richard Childress Racing will turn out to be the smartest move he makes in motorsports this year. The length of the Great American Race was increased several times, culminating in a spectacle that spanned 212 laps and 530 miles. Busch made it all the way to the finish line, but just as the white flag was being waved, he became involved in an accident that happened behind the leaders. Due to this, the Chevrolet with the number 8 finished in 19th place. Nevertheless, this misses the more important point. Busch, who started the race in his backup vehicle in the 36th position, had already moved into the top 10 by the 40th lap of the race and remained there until the halfway point of the race. Both Busch and Dillon started the first overtime session in the first row, with the objective of Busch taking the lead and Dillon giving him a boost. When the opposite line attempted to freight train Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to the front, that attempt was unsuccessful. Both Dillon and Busch met the same fate once the green flag was hoisted for the next round of competition. Dillon was involved in a later crash, while Busch suffered the same end. The first part of Kyle Busch's season is shaping up to be quite successful. Yet, what exactly does RCR have to offer? To begin, Busch assumed control of the No. 8 Chevy, which had previously been driven to victory by Tyler Reddick at Road America, Indianapolis, and Texas Motor Speedway. Despite this, Austin Dillon had a successful 2022 season, which lends credence to the notion that the team may be able to maximize the potential of the next-gen car. What do you think about Kyle Busch's crash and how he happens to deal with his disappointment every year at the Daytona 500? Let us know in the comments section below. And also, do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Now, let's hear what Kyle Larson has to say about his crash. Kyle Larson was struck hard on the final lap of the Daytona 500. According to the driver of the number 5 car, it was one of the most serious accidents of his career. Despite the fact that the car was in a wreck as a result of the incident, Larson was not injured. Larson conducted an interview after the race in which he stated the following.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. It was definitely a huge hit. So my first time wearing that mouthpiece, so I'm curious to see what that reads. It was definitely one of the bigger ones I've ever had. So, but thankfully, you know, car held up, I guess, and all my safety equipment was fine, and I'm fine. So just a bummer. You know, felt like we had everybody in the top 4 to 6 has an opportunity to win there, and just I had such a run from the 20. I didn't know what to do with it. I felt like where I was going to get to the 47, I wanted to stay committed to him, at least through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch, and then have things work out. I definitely didn't want to try and go for the lead as early as I did. I just had such a run. I didn't know what to do with it, and I thought if I got to him where I was going to get to him, it was just going to choke us up or cause a crash, and then we weren't going to win. So wish I could play that over again, but happy that Ricky won. I'm super, that's all I could think about after I crashed, was just waiting to get out and hear that he won. So yeah, super happy for him and his team, Chevrolet and everybody, but wish I could have at least finished.
Kyle Larson and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. were next to each other when they took the white flag. Larson started the race on the inside line, but he ultimately moved to the center of the track. Larson was the only driver who followed him. Thus, his momentum was lost, and he dropped farther down the order. The collision between Eric Almirola's vehicle and Travis Pastrana's caused Pastrana to lose control of his vehicle. Larson's automobile was spun by the number 67 vehicle, causing it to collide with the outside wall and be dragged along it until it came to a stop. Larson had a chance to win, but he made a mistake at the wrong time, costing him his first Daytona 500 triumph.
Yeah, no, he's one of my best friends. So I was like yelling in my helmet when we both went to the lead, or I helped push him to lead there. Was hoping it was going to stay green. So me and him, either would probably have been me or him to win. And so yeah, no, I'm so happy for him and him and his team and Mike Kelly and everybody. And can't wait to go get changed and go give him a big hug, because yeah, he is one of my great buddies. Yeah, obviously, I wish I would have been able to finish and win the race. I felt good about it. I felt like I was in a great opportunity, great spot to win. But ultimately it didn't work out, and I knew the 9 was out, 24 was out, the 48 was not in a position to win there before I got crashed. So I was just hoping that the 47 had somehow got back to the lead before the caution flag fell. So he was who I was cheering for after I was out. So happy that he won. Would be more pissed off, I guess, right now if somebody else won. Yeah, I think just this package, for whatever reason, like, you can't run 3 wide, so it just stays. We all know that now too, so we all just stay 2 wide and you don't go anywhere. So yeah, it kind of is what it is. I would like for them to try and tweak the package. I don't know what it takes to make it 3 wide racing or whatever, but it just makes it really calm until the end, and it's kind of frustrating when you get stuck 4th, 5th row on back. You have nowhere to go.
After the Busch light clash, Kyle Larson commented on the fragility of the car, saying it had been damaged in very small crashes. Let us now go on to the thrill of the 2023 season. The NASCAR Cup Series has returned to Auto Club Raceway, where Kyle Busch flourished for the 2023 season, reigniting the excitement. From 2005 through 2009, he won 4 times and finished in the top 5 in 11 of his 23 career races. After the final lap of the Palo Casino 400 this Sunday, the Auto Club Speedway will be torn down in the weeks that follow in order to make room for a brand new beginning. Busch makes his first of 5 Xfinity Series appearances for Kaulig Racing at Phoenix Raceway 2 weeks after Fontana. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us in the comments what you think about the video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos on NASCAR updates. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.